The Daring Warriors are making their way into Marvel Strike Force. We can see their character avatars live, up and ready in the game. So as we prepare to get this team, what are some things we need to keep in mind, especially when it comes to this character here, Eclipse? To get her, it's been stated that we're going to need the champions and or the Winter Guard teams. So what can we do to prepare now to make sure we're in good position to pick up our next team? We recognize that people are playing the game from different places. They're playing the game from different states, different levels, different play styles. So here is what my Daring Warriors look like right now. We recognize we have the reworked characters in Jessica Jones and Daredevil. Those two individuals have indeed been confirmed. This is my main account, so I already have these two characters powered up to a degree, right, just from playing them in the past. We have some diamonds on them because they showed up in the store, and so I went on ahead and upgraded them to diamonds. There's some question over if we're going to be dropping one of these characters, should it be Jessica Jones or Daredevil? And at this point in the game, obviously, I'm not sure. I'm going to say that right now it appears that Jessica Jones might be the one you leave out. I'm not sure about that. We can't say that definitively. Both characters have points that bring something to the team. For example, if we're talking about Daredevil, his move Throw Baton applies 2 counters to him, to defenders and the Daring Warriors. These counterattacks seem to be something that's very important for how the team functions. Now, this is just one move, but it does allow for us, at least in theory, we haven't seen the team work yet, but at least in theory, allow for the team to get moving and or keep moving. So on that side, it appears that maybe Daredevil is indeed an essential character and we'll need him on the team. On the other hand, Jessica Jones brings, just by way of being there, a ton of resistance. She gives ability energy. She's going to be able to remove negative effects from your opponent. So if we take her out of the lineup, then we lose those aspects as well. But again, that's what theory crafting is all about, thinking what am I going to be able to do with the characters I have, the characters that I'm going against, and what's going to give me the most bang for my buck, so to speak. At any rate, on the free-to-play side of things, we're just going to leave those 2 characters alone, right? I'm not going to build them right now. I'm not going to do anything with them. If you don't have them maxed out yet, you can start finding them in the store. Maybe just start picking up their character shards. We'll revisit that later on in the video. Regarding Eclipse, she is a Marvel Strike Force original character, and usually these characters are incredibly strong and they stand the test of time. Now, we were told that to get this character, we're going to need the Winter Guard and or the champions in some respect. So how's our progression going there? Here's my Winter Guard at present, and I mean, it's coming along pretty good. We have everybody unlocked. Dark Star and Ursa Major are still trickling in right now on the free-to-play side of things. So keeping that in mind, we need to make sure we're doing that Champions Showcase. Using the champion energy contributes to the Dark Star power-up. It moves us forward, right? Spend We Are the Champions energy. It moves us forward towards us in the command center. So we're looking on the side here and it's just experience points. We're like, Gideon, I don't need any more experience points, or it's not really something to be pushing for. But don't be fooled. The milestone points are adding up on this side. And so this is where it's giving us, again, those free to play shards of Dark Star. So all we have to do is make sure that we're using some of that energy. We don't have to use cores on it or anything like that. Just make sure we're using some of that energy so we're able to get free shards for Dark Star. We'll have something similar for Ursa Major coming up later this week, I believe it was said in a previous blog post. So again, just keep in mind interacting with the game, get the free stuff that you're able to. I have enough to get Ursa Major and or Omega Red to gear tier 20, but I'm reluctant to do it. I hesitate to go backwards, and since I'm saying for me that this team is done, I kind of just want to move forward and go from there. So that brings us to the next team, which is the champions. So if we're coming on the free to play side of things, we're probably finishing up our Winter Guard right now. If we're able to get ahead at all, then we're able to be working on the champions. So this is the tip of the spear, so to speak, almost, right? We know that the next team, the Daring Warriors, has been announced. They're showing up in a game. So on a spender side, one could work on those reworked characters. But for those of us that are free to play, it's more efficient to just make sure that we have what we know. And what we know is a champions team. We recognize we're going to need them to get Eclipse. So this is as far as I've gotten with my champions. We're bringing everybody up to level 105. Now, I have seen pictures. I think Rage Gaming, please check his channel. I think he had a picture of somebody getting through the raid lanes with a much less powerful team than what I have here. They put a lot less resources into them. They pretty much just built Moon Girl for the most part and left the rest of the characters at kind of mid-tier, and they were able to do it. You're gonna have to play that manually, which is fine if you're trying to save resources. However, I still think that skipping out on raid teams, I know skipping out isn't the right word, skimping on your raid teams is not the way to go. A lot of times we're being told that, hey, build a raid team until it works and leave it alone. And that's true. That makes sense. That's a good way to do things. I look at it differently, right? Whenever we have these scourges or things like that, the first couple of nodes are kind of open-ended. You can use whoever you want. Your raid teams, if you have the ability to turn on raid abilities are active, your raid teams are the strongest teams, generally speaking, you can use, because they're made to just dominate and auto through the nodes now, right? So they're the only teams that are going to have healing, maybe some resurrection. They have good damage. They have control, right? They have everything built in. They're one of the few teams that have everything. So I like to keep my raid teams actually fairly strong. We're going to use them in raids, obviously. On autos, you're not going to see them, but you're going to use them in Crucible. You're going to use them in Alliance War. And again, we're going to be using them in these Scourge events in those first couple of areas if there's no barriers to entry. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that this is how I typically approach the game. And since we have our champions tuned up here, I could push them to gear tier 20. I started working on Miles. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. I've already did it. 2 pieces left. So I don't have to commit, right? I don't have to say, well, I'm this far, so I should go all the way. But I was just trying to see if we could maintain that gear tier 20 if I focused harder in the chapter store. So since we're not sure of the capabilities of this team yet, just keep your ear to the ground, ask around, see what you're trying to do. If you think you need the whole team to be super strong, I mean, that's the way I'm going, then go do that. But if you're just trying to get through the raid nodes, then again, ask around. You can apparently get away with it with a lot less investment, especially in this time of the economic crunch, right? There's an economic crunch right now. But I'm trying to be at the tip of the spear, right? That's always my goal. Be at the tip of the spear, be ready. And now, for the most part, I'm just going to sit back and try to stack the resources I can in preparation for the Daring Warriors. Now, when preparing for the champions, I did have to dip into my gold stash, right? We still have over almost 700 gold orbs, and I have some mega gold orbs as well. We did run out of training materials, but that was fine. We were just able to farm those back up over time, and we had enough to get all those characters that you saw up to at least gear tier 19. But yes, we did have to dip into the gold stash, meaning that we did not have enough gold. So the economy it's rough right now, right? You get enough to build 5 characters. There's 5 characters on a team, and if you miss something, if you weren't there, if you didn't log in, then again, you're shorting what you're able to do. We just got to keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to the Retcon team, again, we look over there at my Jeff the Landshark. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before we get him up and running. The team does not work without him, so there's no point in me building this team. I'm just going to have to wait. We don't actually know where the resources for building the team on the free-to-play side are going to come from. We're not sure yet. We know we have the anniversary coming up, the anniversary of Marvel Strike Force, and I believe last time they did not release a team. It was either last time or the time before that. They did not release a team during the anniversary event. It was just all about doing stuff, getting resources, and promoting the game. So if that happens again, so the next team to come out is the Daring Warriors. Excuse me, voice is still having trouble. The next team to come out is the Daring Warriors. And so then that will take us through most of next month, which is March. They said they're going to start the anniversary end of March. So perhaps if that's the cadence and this happens again, as far as no team being released in that window, I mean, we'll have to see. I'm 100% speculating. I don't know. But if it happens again, then obviously that would be the time to build the Retcon team on the free-to-play side of things. And that kind of coincides with when the bulk of the average, we'll say, players are going to be building them up, right? It's going to take me a month, still going to take about a month. Let's just double back. So it's still going to take me about, at 35 shards, if that's what I'm getting, it's going to take me 3 more cycles, which is a month and a half, which brings us again into early April, which would be inside of the anniversary event. So maybe that's the plan. I'm not sure. Anyway, as far as getting ready, just to recap: 1, Retcon team. If you don't have Jeff, you can't build them, so don't put any investment in them at this time. 2, we know we need the Winter Guard and champions, so make sure you build those up. They're giving us Dark Star shards and Ursa Major shards coming soon. Get those Dark Star shards by participating in the Champions Showcase. Don't just ignore it. Auto that stuff. Don't use cores to refresh it, but you need to use that energy in order to get the milestones to get extra shards, or your free to play shards, I should say, for Dark Star. If you got that all done, playing from the tip of the spear perspective, I'm trying to move as far forward as possible so we have our champions done. Now we can just sit back, try to stack our resources and wait for the Daring Warriors. Again, you're going to need one or both of these teams. We're not sure how. They want you to have the characters, right? Keep that in mind. They want you to have the characters. So when it comes to the original character of Eclipse, they want people to unlock her. My assumption is it's not going to be very difficult, but to get the unlock, but maybe increased stars or something like that will be tied to how much power we've put into these 2 teams. I'm not telling you that you have to put any extra power into the teams. It's not what I'm saying. We don't know what the requirements are, so just proceed business as usual until you know otherwise. The Daring Warriors will be coming up next, so we'll wait to hear information as to when and how these characters will be unlocked. As far as the reworks go, Jessica Jones and Daredevil, you can farm them in the store. They're still in the old school store. As far as the reworks, again, I'm not going to build them right now. We're just going to leave everybody where they are. But if you're not caught up on character shards, you just hit find. We see that Daredevil is in the previous ages, so you can make sure that you pick him up every day. If you don't have him maxed out star-wise, you might as well pick him up in the store. But he's way in the back there at the previous age, right? When they bring him up to the age of a nihilist in the store, then you know that we're starting to get into the free-to-play cycle. Daredevil didn't have a node to farm, so that's not that you want to be spending your energy there anyway, but just be mindful. There's no node for him to farm. When it comes to Jessica Jones, though, we can go after her. And again, we see that she is in the supply store at the age of Apocalypse. So we can find her right there. Again, since they're in these older ages, the team is not yet necessarily ready to be looked at on the free-to-play side of things. But if you got shop credits, you can get ahead and start just getting their character shards up a little bit at a time right now. Jessica Jones also has a node at Villains for 9. So again, I don't really recommend that you farm it, but if you have extra energy, then we're moving our way towards 110. So if you have extra energy and you need something to do with it, here's an opportunity. Again, I would suggest though making sure you farm gold, orbs, and training materials depending on what you need more. So let me know, where are you in the progression at the moment? Are you working on the Winter Guard? Are you working on the champions? What are you doing to prepare when it comes to the Daring Warriors? I really want to hear your perspective. I know there's a lot going on in the game right now, so let's talk. Again, we want to talk perspective. Help me to understand what you're dealing with and how you're trying to overcome the issues until they get solved. Hey, if you haven't seen this video right here, please check it out. It's legit.